Thank you all for attending this press conference. As many of you know, additional charges were filed yesterday by the prosecutors in the G Homicide Task Force. Jason L. Harris, 22, of Armington, Illinois, was charged with obstructing justice on October 7, 2009. Late yesterday afternoon, Harris was charged with 5 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. These charges were based upon additional investigation and interviews. I will not discuss the new charges. I will tell you today that very early in this investigation, we believed that the G family knew their killers. We did not believe this was a random act. We are confident that we now have those responsible for the murders in custody. We believe we know the motive, but we cannot discuss it at this time. We will continue to follow up on every lead and ask the public to continue calling in any information you may have regarding this case. With the success demonstrated by this investigation, this should be a model for all law enforcement in the future for major case investigations. We in law enforcement need to pool our resources as we did in this case to effectively investigate these types of crimes. In this case, the Illinois State Police provided a command structure, seasoned homicide investigators, analytical and forensic support. These resources, coupled with the Logan County Sheriff's Department and the Lincoln Police Department's working knowledge and expertise in the area, to lead to the quick arrest in a brutal homicide of the G family. All the officers involved in this investigation would like to thank the community for your assistance and your support. I do not plan any future press conferences as we are now moving into the prosecutorial phase of this investigation. That does not change my caution to the public to look out for each other and your children. We all need to take care of one another. I'll now take a couple questions. Yes, ma'am.
Why would the Harris brothers do something like this?
I cannot discuss that. That's part of the motive, ma'am.
Sheriff, do you think that did Jason help Chris, or did Jason physically kill some members of his family?
That's another part I cannot go into. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't catch the first part.
Did you say if search warrants were filed to search the Harris residences and vehicles?
We've used a lot of search warrants, but we're not going to release that information until we move out of the investigative part of the investigation.
So those are sealed then right now?
Yes.
Don't the criminal charges against Harris allege that he struck blows?
That's something I can't comment on. You have to speak to the state's attorney and the AG's office on that. That's all part of the motive. We're not going to go into that.
Does this mean that further arrests are unlikely?
More than likely, that's a correct statement.
You say you believe you have folks responsible and you're giving it to the prosecutors, so as far as the police end is concerned, is this solved?
No, we're not done. We still, like I said, we're still going to follow up on all the other leads that we have. And other than that, what I'm saying is we feel confident that we have the people in custody that committed this act.
Is Nicole G, or has she at any time been a person of interest in this investigation?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Sheriff,
Sir?
I understand that Chris Harris has been transferred back to Logan County from McLean County as of this morning, and Jason Harris has been taken to McLean County. Why the switch?
Because that's just what I wanted to do.
when will Sarah Duncan arrive here from Florida?
Pardon me?
When will Sarah Duncan arrive from Florida?
We're still making those arrangements.
Do you expect more serious charges against Ernest or Duncan?
Like I said, at this point in time, we're going to go with what we've given you. I'm not going to discount anything at this point in time. There's things that we're not going to discuss, and that's going to be one of them. So,
Can you say any further about what Duncan did to obstruct justice?
no, that's part of the investigation we're not going to talk about.
Sheriff, can you say that a violent struggle in fact take place since they allegedly know their killers?
Well, we put out earlier that we felt from what we observed at the scene that there was a violent struggle. Okay?
Is there any more information about the tailpipes on this truck? Did you ever locate them? Were they?
We believe we've accounted for that. We're not going to discuss that with you, but we believe we've accounted for that.
Is that truck that you recovered the same truck that was outside Nicole Harris's home?
Yes.
Why were you not able to secure it or identify it as the truck you wanted earlier on?
Well, that's part of the investigation that came to us that we're not going to discuss. So, thank you all. That'll be it. Thank you.
Got ready copies if you want.